Today, August 25, 2025, we are witnessing a development that could change financial history forever. The Iraqi dinar revaluation is no longer just speculation. It's officially in motion. Reports confirm that former President Donald Trump and the Central Bank of Iraq have finalized a groundbreaking deal to push forward the long-awaited revaluation of the dinar. This is the kind of update that currency holders have been waiting years to hear. What was once dismissed as rumor is now turning into reality, and the impact could be massive, not just for Iraq, but for investors worldwide. For years, dinar holders have faced frustration over vague promises and shifting timelines. Every few months, whispers would circulate, but nothing materialized. Today, however, feels very different. The agreement is described as finalized, structured, and ready for rollout. What makes this moment historic is that the revaluation plan is said to include a clear timeline, liquidity management systems, and active participation from major international banks. This isn't just talk, it's a framework designed to work, and the momentum is undeniable. The political weight behind this deal cannot be overstated. Having a former U.S. president directly involved in negotiations with Iraq's central bank is unprecedented. This isn't just about currency, it's about geopolitical influence, trade agreements, and reshaping Iraq's financial independence. With the U.S. aligned on this initiative, Iraq gains powerful backing, while America cements its role as a key player in the region's economic future. Political deals of this nature carry immense symbolic power, and this one signals a serious commitment to seeing the revaluation through. Financially, the stakes are enormous. While the exact revaluation rate remains confidential, insiders say it could be far higher than today's value. For individual dinar holders, this could mean life-changing returns. For institutions, it means billions in positioning advantages. And for Iraq, it represents stability, purchasing power, and access to global capital that has long been out of reach. What makes this moment unique is the preparation. Banks and infrastructure are already in place to handle what's coming. Global markets are already showing early signs of reaction. Forex trading volumes for the dinar are spiking. Oil-linked stocks tied to Iraq's exports are rallying. Even gold prices are climbing as traders anticipate broader regional realignments. These are early tremors before the earthquake. When multiple markets start moving in sync, it's a clear sign that investors believe the shift is real and that the ground beneath us is changing. Inside Baghdad, the mood is described as cautiously optimistic. Officials say the revaluation is not just a one-time adjustment, but the start of a long-term integration into global financial markets. The government has highlighted that Iraq's banking systems have been upgraded to handle the surge in activity once the new rates take effect. This means liquidity shocks are less likely, and the transition could be far smoother than skeptics expected. It's a strategic, forward-looking approach that signals confidence. Meanwhile, U.S. banks are playing a crucial role. Names like J.P. Morgan, Wells Fargo, Chase, and Citibank are said to be coordinating with the Central Bank of Iraq to facilitate mass exchanges. That means holders of the dinar, especially in the U.S., may find redemption far more streamlined than in past speculative scenarios. The involvement of these banks also gives credibility to the process. Institutions of that scale don't build systems for rumors. The rollout plan itself is designed to be phased. Large institutional holders will reportedly be given early access through private exchanges. Later, the public release will begin. This strategy prevents the system from being overwhelmed and keeps liquidity manageable. For everyday holders, this means patience will be necessary, but it also means the process is designed to work without collapsing. If executed as described, it ensures both early adopters and later participants benefit in structured ways. The ripple effects are already extending beyond Iraq. Vietnam's currency, the dong, is being closely watched as analysts speculate that it could follow a similar path to maintain regional competitiveness. If multiple revaluations occur in close succession, the global currency landscape could see a dramatic reset. For investors, this isn't just about Iraq anymore. It's about anticipating the chain reactions that may follow across emerging markets. For dinar holders, the message today is clear. Prepare, but don't panic. The potential upside is enormous, but the key is to act with strategy, not emotion. Knowing the rollout phases, understanding how to redeem, and planning liquidity carefully are the steps that will separate success from missed opportunity. In moments like these, information is power, and having a plan is priceless. What happens next is what everyone is watching for. Official announcements could come from Iraq's leadership, the CBI, or U.S. financial institutions in the days ahead. Details like the exact rate, redemption timelines, and early access structures will determine how smoothly this transition unfolds. Investors should stay alert, as those details will define who benefits most in the early stages of revaluation. Of course, risks remain. Global politics could intervene, banking systems could experience delays, or internal disagreements could slow implementation. These are realities of any large-scale financial reset. But the fact that infrastructure and agreements are reportedly already in place suggests that this time the process has more momentum than ever before. Unlike past rumors, there's visible movement across markets and institutions that validates the seriousness of the plan. This moment is already historic. The direct involvement of a high-profile political figure, the scale of institutional coordination, and the global anticipation around the dinar's shift make August 25, 2025 a date to remember. Even if timelines adjust, the narrative has already changed. What was once dismissed as fantasy is now being discussed as fact in financial circles worldwide. For Iraq itself, the revaluation is more than numbers on a screen. It means cheaper imports, stronger purchasing power for citizens, and renewed faith in the dinar as a reliable store of value. It also positions Iraq as a stronger partner in global trade, particularly in energy exports where currency stability is key. If managed correctly, this could spark an economic revival that touches nearly every Iraqi household. For the United States, this is also strategic. By embedding its banks and financial systems into Iraq's transition, the U.S. secures both political influence and financial returns. It signals to the world that America remains deeply invested in shaping emerging markets. For Trump himself, it cements the image of a dealmaker whose influence extends beyond politics into global economic engineering. Currency markets globally will study this process closely. If Iraq's revaluation rollout succeeds, it could become the model for how other emerging market adjustments are handled. A phased, structured, institution-backed approach could replace the chaotic, rumor-driven methods of the past. That would be a legacy not just for Iraq, but for global finance. Skeptics, of course, will remain vocal. Many have heard promises before and will caution against believing until the rate is visible. And that caution is healthy. But this time, the signs are stronger. Infrastructure is visible, banks are preparing, and cross-market movements are undeniable. That doesn't erase risk, but it shifts the probability of success upward. So, what can you do right now? Stay informed, stay patient, don't rush into hasty moves based on half-truths. Instead, prepare a clear plan for how you'll respond when the official rollout begins. Know your options, understand your position, and keep your focus on facts, not hype. The investors that thrive in these moments are those who are ready before the crowd. Here at Iraqi Invest, our mission is to guide you through this journey with clarity, honesty, and real-time updates. We'll continue tracking every development, whether it's rate confirmations, bank procedures, or market impacts, so you can move confidently in a time of massive change. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on your notifications, because the story doesn't end here. The Iraqi dinar revaluation is officially in motion, and the coming days could define a financial turning point for millions. Stay with us. We'll walk this road together, step by step, through one of the biggest currency events of our generation.